Hello and welcome to the Abundology podcast. My name is Renee Spears and I'm a spiritual advisor and mentor, and I help people be happy and attract more money, love, time, and joy in their lives. I'm coming to you from beautiful downtown Bozeman, Montana, and this is the weekly energy update for the week of April 24th, 2022. Every Sunday, I talk about how the energy is going to be for the week ahead, and I also infuse the show with some positive vibes, so you do get a little positive energy boost just for listening. And we have another incredible week coming. This is a big week personally for me, too. It's the anniversary of when I started Abundology 3 years ago. Also, I've now been in Montana for 6 months, and this is my 200th podcast episode. I love anniversaries because you can look back to see how far you've come and then think about where you'll be in another 6 months or 3 years. And it seems that almost every week in the past few months, there's been big stuff happening, like once in a lifetime stuff that really shifts our lives. And of course, this week is no exception. This is a perfect week for a 200th podcast episode because we're entering another time of huge transformation. So where you are today, spiritually, emotionally, and physically, is not where you're going to be at the end of eclipse season in a month. This week we have the first eclipse of the year, but before we talk about that, let's talk about a couple of other things. Tuesday, the 26th, is a spectacular 5-planet stellium in Pisces. A stellium is when 3 or more planets are grouped together in the same sign. This time, the Moon, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Neptune, and the asteroid Juno are all in Pisces. So this is one of the more favorable astrology events this year. It gives us an extra dose of romance and creativity, and it blasts open the floodgates of cosmic consciousness. So whenever we have a huge pileup of energy in one sign, there tends to be a pretty clear focus on what we're looking towards. And this stellium brings us opportunities for love and to romantically connect to people. So it wouldn't be surprising if there are a lot of people coupling up and people getting engaged and married. And the astrologer Deborah Norton mentioned in her 2022 Astrology Forecast podcast that this is a powerful day of dreaming. And since 2022 is all about real world practical stuff and getting our shit together, that stuff takes work. So Tuesday, we get a break from all that work and we get a day to dream. It's a great day to piddle around the house, even to take some psychedelics and let your mind wander and think about all the what ifs. And we're in this energy all week, making the focus this week on romance, dating, creativity, rest. The focus is on everything that's not about working, and especially on Tuesday. Then on Friday, April 29th, Pluto, which is the planet of transformation and the ruler of the underworld, it goes retrograde for 5 months. And because this retrograde lasts so long, life won't be hectic like when Mercury goes retrograde. So Pluto is the planet of rebirth. And this retrograde gives us a fabulous life makeover. This 2022 Pluto retrograde is very fortunate because of all the positive aspects it has with Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter. And this means that the transformations we'll go through are positive in the areas of your love life, finances, your way of thinking, and all of these shifts lead to spiritual growth and soul evolution. So the biggest aspect that influences this retrograde is how tight it is with Jupiter, making this one of the most fortunate Pluto retrogrades possible and bringing all these positive changes. So this is excellent energy for wealth creation and growing your bank account. This is a time to start saving. Even if you're just putting away $10 a month into savings, this is the time to start. And if you're self-employed, this is a time to really focus on growing your business. The good fortune from Jupiter also applies to your love life. So new romance is in the air, and this is a romance that will greatly change your life. So even existing relationships are going to evolve to a more profound and spiritual level. And then finally, April comes to a dramatic close thanks to the second new moon of the month, which is also a solar eclipse in Taurus. And that happens on Saturday the 30th, which will also bring a beautiful change to our romantic lives. So when we have 2 full moons in a single calendar month, the second one is called a blue moon. And when we have 2 new moons, the second one is called a black moon. And this is a relatively rare event since there's usually only 1 new and 1 full moon per month. Now, eclipses are known for bringing rapid shifts and unexpected twists of fate into our lives, and they help us realign with our destiny, even if our lives get turned upside down in the process. And solar eclipses always fall on a new moon, and while this is only a partial solar eclipse, it's still ultra potent, and it carries the weight of 100 new moons. So new moons always represent new beginnings. So this eclipse is likely to open doors, open windows, and draw entirely new paths for us. And while new moons are typically powerful times for manifesting, under a solar eclipse, it's actually better to just go with the flow and trust whatever the universe brings your way. Eclipses activate our soul contract, and they bring fated events that help us get to the next chapter of our spiritual evolution. They always put us where we need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it at first. Eclipses can accelerate our timeline, bringing forward things that are ultimately inevitable. And things can happen quickly under an eclipse, and that is extra true with this one because of Uranus, which is the planet known for surprises and unexpected change. It's active during this eclipse. So we got all the change from the eclipse, and then we're adding Uranus in there with sudden changes and surprises. So there's going to be some really unusual, crazy twists of fate coming this week. Actually, for the next couple weeks, because we're in this eclipse energy for a couple of weeks. So a couple things you need to be aware of this week. We are in soulmate meeting season. So if you happen to accidentally bump into somebody, pay attention to that, because this could be your person. Ask them out. Take an extra minute and make some conversation. This is also a time to rethink things. You may get a download or have an aha moment about how you want to do things differently. So I went to another podcast seminar last week. It was fantastic. But I noticed that the main focus was on growing your audience. And I flashed back to my mortgage days when the focus there was on more loans, more volume. And that just does not resonate with me. I want the freedom of a simple life. And often more complicates your life. So this eclipse's goal is to bring freedom into our lives. It wants to liberate us from all that is holding us back so we can step into a truer and more authentic place. And I realize the goals of the other podcasters, they're just not mine. My goal is a simple, balanced life. My goal is peace of mind and joy and freedom. And the constant focus on increasing listeners just doesn't bring me closer to any of those things. So this week and this eclipse are your opportunity to get clear on what you want your life to be. And you do that by taking it easy, giving yourself time to be, paying attention to any downloads that you get that are bringing you important information, and just going with the flow. Eclipses are the way the universe creates change in our life. So from this moment on, expect change, expect twists and turns of events. Surrender to experience beauty and growth during this magical event and allow yourself to just be. Okay, remember, there are going to be rapid shifts. There's going to be doors opening, beautiful new beginnings, unexpected opportunities, and twists of fate. All these things help align us with our destiny. Once again, even if our lives get turned upside down in the process. So just go with the flow and trust that what the universe brings your way. Just keep your mind focused on abundant thinking and gratitude. And be prepared to welcome the next highest version of yourself. So the affirmation for this Taurus new moon solar eclipse is, I look for opportunity in whatever comes my way. I am worthy to receive abundance, love, and all that is aligned with my highest destiny. And that's it for the week. Just another soul and destiny alignment time. No big deal. So I did record a podcast with Zofia Morales this week all about being an empath. And it's a fabulous podcast for empaths to listen to because she shares how to deal with your gift. And it's also good for those of us who aren't empaths so we can understand them a little bit better. And that will be posted later this week. I also have another Montana visitor. And what an incredible week to come and do this reset. So one last thing. This is the last week when you'll receive a free 30-minute session if you refer a friend. This is also valid if you buy a gift certificate for a friend. It just needs to be the first appointment the friend has had with me. So have a wonderful, incredible, life-changing week. Enjoy all of it. Man, we are just going to be super duper fabulous versions of ourselves in a month. Well, we are now, but we'll be even better in a month. So I will talk to you again next week. Have a great week.